Today's idiom is let's play a quick game to break the ice. This means suggesting an activity to help people feel comfortable and start interacting in a new or awkward situation. Its origin is from the 17th century European nautical trade. Ships literally broke through frozen waterways. This act later became a metaphor for easing social tension. Let's explore examples. At the new student orientation, the professor started with a silly icebreaker activity. An icebreaker is a planned activity to ease social tension. He's usually quiet, but that funny joke really helped to break the ice with the new team members. This highlights a spontaneous act, making people comfortable. Both illustrate initiating interaction.
Consider get the ball rolling and smooth things over. Get the ball rolling means starting any process, not only social interaction. Example, let's get the ball rolling on this project. Smooth things over implies resolving existing conflict. Break the ice handles initial awkwardness. These others address different stages.
To recap, break the ice means initiating conversation or activity to make people comfortable in a new or awkward setting. Remember its nautical origin. Next time in a quiet group, consider a game or joke. It's a fantastic way to ease tension and start any social gathering positively. I'll see you next time with another great expression.
Today's idiom is I have to pull an all-nighter. This phrase describes the act of staying awake through the entire night, typically to work or study intensively on a task that has a tight deadline. It implies a significant effort and often a lack of sleep in pursuit of completing something important. The origin of pull an all-nighter emerged in academic and professional settings in mid-20th century American English, simply meaning to stay up all night to finish demanding tasks. Let's look at how this idiom is used. First, imagine a student facing a tough deadline. My presentation is tomorrow and I am not finished, so I have to pull an all-nighter. Here, the speaker is acknowledging the necessity of working through the night to complete their presentation. It highlights the pressure and the extra effort required. In another scenario, perhaps with an upcoming exam, the exam is really tough, so I might have to pull an all-nighter to cram everything in. This shows the idiom's versatility, applied to both academic projects and intensive study sessions. Both examples clearly illustrate the dedication to staying awake and productive when time is short.
There are several similar ways to express working through the night. One common alternative is burn the midnight oil, suggesting working late, often by lamplight. While pull an all-nighter specifically implies staying up for the entire night, burn the midnight oil can refer to simply working very late. Another similar phrase is stay up all night, which is a more literal way of saying the same thing. You'd choose to pull an all-nighter for a more active, determined tone about finishing a task by morning.
So, to recap, I have to pull an all-nighter means to stay awake through the whole night to complete a demanding task, typically for work or study. This idiom, originating from mid-20th century academic and professional contexts, vividly expresses intense effort against a deadline. Remember, it conveys a sense of necessity and determination. Next time you're facing a looming deadline and need to work through the night, you can confidently say, I have to pull an all-nighter. It's a very common and relatable expression. I'll see you next time with another great expression.
Today's idiom is there's no use crying over spilled milk. This common expression teaches us that it's unproductive to dwell on past misfortunes or mistakes that cannot be undone. Once something is done, it's done. Our idiom's origins trace back to domestic life in 17th century Europe, rooted in the simple, literal act of lamenting over milk that had been accidentally spilled. This everyday occurrence evolved into a powerful metaphor, reminding us to focus on what lies ahead rather than dwelling on the past. Now let's see how we can use this idiom in everyday conversations. Imagine a situation where someone is feeling down about a past event. For instance, I know you're upset about missing the deadline, but there's no use crying over spilled milk. Let's focus on the next project. Here, the idiom gently encourages moving forward from a missed opportunity. Another common scenario might involve personal regrets, as in, she regretted not studying harder for the exam, but her mom told her, there's no use crying over spilled milk. Just prepare better for the next one. In both examples, the core message remains the same, acknowledge the past, but don't let it paralyze you. Instead, channel your energy into future actions.
This idiom shares meaning with other useful expressions. What's done is a very direct and definitive way to say that an event is irreversible, often used to close a discussion about a past error. For example, after a failed business venture, you might say, "What's done is done. We need to plan our next steps." Let bygones be bygones is slightly different, focusing more on forgiving past grievances or disagreements and moving past them, especially in relationships. It encourages reconciliation rather than simply accepting an irreversible outcome.
To recap, "There's no use crying over spilled milk" is a wonderfully pragmatic idiom, urging us to accept what has happened and shift our focus to the present and future. Remember its simple origin from a domestic mishap. It makes the message even more relatable. So, next time you find yourself or someone else dwelling on an unchangeable past event, you'll know exactly how to offer a dose of wisdom. It's a powerful reminder that while we can learn from the past, we shouldn't be consumed by it. I'll see you next time with another great expression.
Today's idiom is, "they tried to cut corners." This phrase means to do something in the easiest, fastest, or cheapest way, often by sacrificing quality or proper procedure. Imagine a contractor trying to finish a project quickly but using cheaper materials, leading to an inferior outcome. The idiom's origin points to the 19th century road navigation. Physically cutting corners meant taking a direct shortcut across a bend to save time. This literal act evolved into a metaphor for compromising standards for speed or cost. Let's look at how we can use this idiom in different scenarios. For our first example, the construction company cut corners on safety, leading to serious accidents at the site. Here, cut corners refers to neglecting safety regulations to save time or money, resulting in disastrous consequences. This highlights the negative outcome of such actions. Our second example is, if you try to cut corners on your research paper, your professor will definitely notice the lack of detail. In this context, cutting corners means doing a superficial job on an academic task, like not doing thorough research or proofreading. Both examples illustrate that taking shortcuts usually leads to negative repercussions, whether it's structural failure or poor academic performance. It's a clear warning against sacrificing quality for convenience.
There are several phrases similar to cutting corners. One is skimp on quality, which directly highlights reducing the quality of materials or workmanship to save money. For instance, they skimped on quality by using cheap paint. Another similar phrase is take a shortcut, which broadly means to choose the quickest method. However, take a shortcut doesn't always imply a negative consequence or sacrificing quality. It can simply mean being efficient. Cutting corners nearly always carries the negative implication of compromising standards or ethics for expediency. Use it when warning about potential negative outcomes from hasty actions.
To recap, "they tried to cut corners" means to do something in the easiest, fastest, or cheapest way, often resulting in a lower quality outcome. Its origin from literally shortening a route has evolved to metaphorically describe compromising standards. Remember, this idiom usually carries a negative connotation, implying the chosen shortcut was ill-advised. So, the next time you hear about someone making a quick decision that seems too good to be true, they might be cutting corners. Be mindful of this idiom when discussing actions prioritizing speed or cost over quality. I'll see you next time with another great expression.
Today's idiom is I'll play the devil's advocate. This means to argue against an idea, not necessarily because you believe it, but to encourage deeper discussion and test its strength. Its origin is the 16th century Catholic Church, where an advocatus diaboli challenged sainthood candidates. Consider everyone agrees, but I'll play the devil's advocate to see if we've considered all downsides. Here, someone challenges a popular idea for thorough review. Our second example shows a colleague provoking critical thinking in meetings, leading to better solutions.
Similar expressions include to take the opposing view or to offer a counter-argument. While conveying disagreement, playing the devil's advocate implies the disagreement is often strategic, not personal. It's a chosen role to stimulate debate or find flaws, not expressing a deeply held belief. In summary, playing the devil's advocate means intentionally arguing against a position to test its strength or provoke discussion, regardless of personal belief. Rooted in a historical Catholic Church role, it's perfect for encouraging thorough examination of an idea. Go ahead, play the devil's advocate. I'll see you next time with another great expression.
Today's idiom is, it's time to face the music about the broken vase. It means to accept unpleasant consequences or a difficult truth. Originating late 18th century from military courts or theater, it describes confronting judgment or an audience, often with music. It's about taking responsibility directly and honestly. Let's see it in action. Our first example shows Sarah needing to confess and accept consequences for the vase. Our second illustrates a project manager accepting responsibility for missed deadlines. Both emphasize confronting difficult truths and their repercussions directly, demonstrating accountability.
Similar expressions include pay the piper and reap what you sow. Pay the piper means to suffer for past decisions. Reap what you sow signifies actions determine outcomes. While face the music implies confronting judgment, these broadly emphasize inevitable consequences. Choose based on your specific context. In summary, it's time to face the music about the broken vase means accepting difficult consequences. Originating from confronting judgment, it emphasizes acknowledging responsibility. When a mistake or unpleasant truth emerges, remember this idiom. It's about facing the situation directly, a crucial aspect of accountability. Use it well. I'll see you next time with another great expression.
Today's idiom is he tends to fly off the handle over small things. This vivid expression means someone loses their temper very suddenly and often disproportionately, becoming intensely angry over minor issues. Imagine an axe head, loosened from its handle, suddenly flying off with dangerous force when swung. That's the powerful image behind this idiom, which emerged from the 19th century American English, reflecting the unexpected and uncontrolled nature of such an outburst. It perfectly captures how easily one might snap. Now let's see how this idiom comes to life in everyday conversations with two examples. First, imagine this scenario. My boss tends to fly off the handle if his coffee isn't exactly right in the morning. This vividly portrays someone who gets extremely angry very easily, even over a trivial matter like a coffee imperfection. Our second example expands on this. She knows he sometimes flies off the handle, so she tries to avoid sensitive topics. Here, the idiom describes a person with a known tendency for sudden anger, leading others to be cautious. Both examples effectively demonstrate how to fly off the handle captures a spontaneous and often unwarranted outburst of temper.
When someone flies off the handle, they are certainly losing their temper, a more general way to describe becoming angry. Another vivid expression is to blow a fuse, meaning to suddenly become very angry, much like an electrical circuit overloads. Fly off the handle specifically highlights the suddenness and loss of control, often implying the anger is disproportionate to the trigger. It's ideal for describing someone prone to dramatic outbursts over minor issues, whereas blow a fuse emphasizes the intensity of the anger. To recap, he tends to fly off the handle over small things means someone loses their temper suddenly and easily, especially in response to minor irritations. Recall the vivid image of an axe head unexpectedly detaching itself from its handle, a perfect visual for sudden, uncontrolled anger. This idiom is excellent for describing individuals with a short fuse or those who react disproportionately to small triggers. Keep an ear out for this expression in your daily life and try using it yourself to accurately describe such fiery situations. I'll see you next time with another great expression.
Today's idiom is, I got cold feet. This phrase means to suddenly become nervous or scared about doing something you had planned, often causing you to reconsider or back out. Imagine preparing for a big event, then feeling overwhelmed and wanting to quit. That's having cold feet. Its origin traces back to medieval European warfare, where soldiers whose feet literally got cold were perceived as losing their will to fight or even deserting. This physical sensation became a metaphor for psychological reluctance. Let's look at how I got cold feet is used. For instance, you might say, I was going to ask her out, but at the last minute, I got cold feet. Here, the speaker planned to ask someone on a date, but became too nervous or anxious to follow through. The prospect of potential rejection or the big step itself made them hesitant. In another scenario, consider, the bridegroom almost got cold feet on his wedding day, but his best man calmed him down. This example vividly illustrates a high-stakes situation where someone, despite thorough preparations, felt a sudden surge of fear or doubt right before a major commitment. In both cases, cold feet perfectly captures that moment of sudden apprehension.
Now, let's explore some similar expressions. Get butterflies in one's stomach also describes nervousness, but it typically refers to a feeling of excitement mixed with anxiety, often before a performance or a first date, without necessarily implying backing out. In contrast, have second thoughts means reconsidering a decision after initially committing to it. While both involve hesitation, get cold feet specifically implies a strong enough fear or reluctance to potentially abandon a plan altogether, whereas second thoughts can simply be a period of reflection. To recap, I got cold feet is a vivid way to express becoming too nervous or scared to proceed with a planned action. Rooted in the historical image of soldiers losing resolve, it captures that moment of preemptive retreat due to fear. Remember, while it's natural to feel apprehension, this idiom specifically highlights when that fear becomes strong enough to make you pull back. So, next time you or someone you know hesitates on the brink of a decision due to fear, you'll know exactly how to describe it. I'll see you next time with another great expression.
Today's idiom is she always goes the extra mile. This phrase means to make a special, additional effort beyond what is expected or required. Its origin is often traced back to the New Testament, specifically Matthew 5:41. In ancient Rome, a soldier could legally compel a civilian to carry his gear for 1 mile. The biblical passage advises voluntarily going a second mile, symbolizing generosity and exceeding expectations. So, when someone goes the extra mile, they are choosing to put in more effort than strictly necessary, often demonstrating dedication and a helpful spirit. Let's see how this idiom comes to life with examples. First, consider, despite being busy, Sarah always goes the extra mile to help her colleagues, even staying late if needed. Here, Sarah isn't just completing her own tasks, she's proactively offering assistance and dedicating extra time, showcasing her commitment to her team. Our second example is, the customer service representative went the extra mile by not just solving my problem, but also offering a discount for my inconvenience. This situation highlights someone providing service above the basic expectation. The representative not only addressed the issue, but also made an additional gesture of goodwill, ensuring customer satisfaction. Both examples illustrate how going the extra mile involves exceeding standard expectations with voluntary, dedicated effort.
Let's explore similar expressions. Go above and beyond means to do more than required or expected, like he went above and beyond for the project. Another is bend over backwards, signifying exceptional, often difficult, effort to help or please someone, as in, they bent over backwards for us. Going the extra mile implies consistent, proactive diligence. Bend over backwards suggests intense, sometimes difficult, effort to satisfy a specific need or person, highlighting the high degree of effort involved. To recap, going the extra mile describes someone who consistently puts in more effort than what is strictly required, demonstrating dedication and a helpful attitude. Rooted in ancient Roman times where one might be compelled to carry a soldier's burden for a mile, the phrase encourages voluntarily exceeding that expectation. So, next time you want to commend someone for their exceptional effort and willingness to do more, remember to say they go the extra mile. It's a wonderful way to acknowledge their commitment. I'll see you next time with another great expression.
Today's idiom is I'll hit the sack early tonight. It means to go to bed, often due to tiredness. This phrase emerged in the 19th century America. A sack referred to a simple straw mattress. So, hitting the sack meant collapsing onto it for sleep. It's an informal way to say you're going to sleep. Let's see hit the sack in action. I am exhausted from moving furniture all day. I think I'll hit the sack early tonight. This shows someone needing sleep after physical labor. Also, the baby was so cranky by 7 p.m., so we decided to hit the sack with her. Here, parents go to bed early to maximize rest. Both convey going to bed.
You can also say go to bed or turn in. Go to bed is the direct, neutral alternative. Turn in is informal, implying ending your day for sleep. Hit the sack often suggests being very tired, whereas go to bed and turn in are used more broadly, tired or not. In summary, I'll hit the sack early tonight means to go to bed, especially when tired. It comes from the historical use of straw sacks as beds. It's an informal, vivid way to say you're ending your day and heading to sleep. Use it next time you're truly ready for some well-deserved rest. I'll see you next time with another great expression.